subscribe to Raze.
And welcome back, everybody. My name is Raze Chaos, and you have made it back to my channel. And I have to say that I am so glad to see you, and happy that you have taken the time to come check out this poor old lunatic who knows way too much about way too many things. And today we're having a lot of fun because I just got one of my favorite things to get, and that is a comic accurate comic book character, Funko Pop. And this one goes way back to 1941, and it's the Penguin, created by the people who created Batman. And yeah, this is one of the original villains. And we got to put this guy away so we can talk about it. Penguin, long time villain. He's one of the top tier, right up there. He's the Batman. He is one of Batman's greatest foes. He's had numerous revamps. He's shown up in movies. He's shown up in animated series, more than one. He's somebody that they tend to bring back for the Batman, because he is, not only is he a long-standing villain, but he's also pretty adaptable. He's been on TV shows. Pretty notably, he was in Gotham, was it? Is that what the young Batman show that was on there? He was one of the main characters in Gotham. Yeah, there's a good reason for that. You can pretty much do anything with this character. He tends to be kind of slimy, kind of sleazy, but always very well dressed. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and take this guy out and have a look at him. This is, of course, a Funko exclusive. I say, of course, because they blew up my inbox when he became available. And I'm looking at the detail here, and I'm absolutely loving it. They've made his nose, as far as Funko Pops go, they usually have a very tiny little pivot as far as the nose go. They don't give him much at all, really, as you can see. And in this case, they've given him 4 times what they normally do, which is perfect because his long nose always kind of tended to be a bit of a beak. You've got him in his suit and tails. Bill Finger always tended to put his characters in purple because they tended to show up better in Golden Age comics, and that has kind of stuck with the character a long way, a lot like the Joker, who was a frequent, who they tended to team up with, and that always tended to work really well when you had the Penguin versus the Penguin and the Joker working side by side. I think when I was a little kid, it happened so often, at least in the animated Batman adventures that I saw, they tended to team up so often. I kind of thought that they were partners, until I got older and realized different. But yeah, as far as Batman villains go, it generally tends to be the Joker, then the Penguin. Hence why even in the Tim Burton movies, that's the order in which they showed up. Yeah, initially he was just the Penguin, and that was all there was to it. He was just the Penguin. Later on, they gave him an origin. When they started giving him an origin and a name, which was Oswald, which was one of the best freaking names ever. The Penguin's real name is Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot. It's like, I love that they're just these 3 big words there, and it set about an air. And it's so perfect. His umbrella weapons, originally was explained that his father died of pneumonia from being caught out in the rain, and so his mother had essentially insisted upon him always carrying an umbrella, which carried on later in life. And yeah, so you've always got the umbrella going on with the Penguin. There have been so many different versions that I've appreciated. In the Batman cartoon series, the first one that came after the Batman animated series, they had him as the Cobblepots being another family that was alongside the Waynes, kind of the founding fathers of Gotham City. The only difference is that Oswald tended to, or Oswald's father kind of squandered away the fortune, and basically he was almost like an anti-Bruce Wayne in that, where he was always looking to make money because he wanted to be in that upper crust of the world. The Penguin's biggest trait is pretending to go straight, and he does it. I mean, there's so many stories about the Penguin turning straight and turning good, and they usually work pretty well. I mean, the stories themselves, even though it's just kind of like, how many times are you going to believe this idiot? But I mean, the stories usually work out very well, and my favorite being him running the Iceberg Lounge, which was partially, which is kind of what they did in the Batman animated series, and carried over into the comics. I love the idea that the Penguin was a crook, and he was a fence, and he ran a criminal underground, but he did so under the guise of being a respected nightclub owner, and very successful one at that. And I always loved that aspect of it, is just, you know, the Penguin's always got his fingers in just every little thing in crime. So much so that they did at one point essentially have Batman almost as an uneasy ally with him, where the Penguin would feed him information to help him solve whatever crime he was working on. And at the same time, Penguin, knowing where Batman was looking, he was able to get away with a lot. And not a trusted ally, but a valuable one nonetheless. But yeah, that is the variety and the the variety and the durability of the Penguin, is that he has been able to be reinvented so much, posing as a respectful citizen with the criminal underground behind him. There was one story where he essentially trained an entire flock of birds to come after Gotham City, just in a fully blatant way, almost, you know, from the movie Birds, only it was in Gotham. He did. At one point, he let out that he had sent a clue to the police about the crime he was about to commit, and when asked about it, he said, "Well, what's the point of doing something if nobody knows you did it?" So he's gone in a couple different directions, and but he fits them so well. So he's a very versatile character, and he's one of my favorites as well. So I'm gonna wrap that up because, you know, got a little long. You give me an old character and I tend to get a little long-winded on it, but that's kind of what Raze does when you give him old comics to talk about, because that's what he loves. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here now. Let me know in the comments below, like, what your favorite version of the Penguin is. Is it the Tim Burton mutant thing that was in Batman Returns? Was it any of the animated versions or any of the comic storylines that you really enjoyed? Let me know in the comments below. I love to talk about these things. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and never forget that life is full of odd moments, and you never know when you're going to be defined.